Anyways, y'all, it's your boy Zxous, and obviously Simulation Room Overclock reset. Now, I didn't actually do this for the last Simulation Overclock. I forgot, I'm not gonna lie. I forgot that it reset, but it did reset again. So we have new BIOSes. It's probably the same one, just the new weapon type or whatever. So I'm going to basically just give you guys the team to use and the BIOS settings to use, and you're just going to just copy me and you're going to get by, right? I think in this video, obviously, I'm gonna try to use less of a meta team just to show you guys that you don't necessarily need meta to defeat Simulation Room, because I'm not gonna lie, my power in the game is, I think, high enough or higher to like the recommended power, so it's gonna be like a lot more easier for me than a lot of you guys who are like hundreds of powers down. Obviously, if you are hundreds of powers down, you are still going to be able to get the clear, but it's like, you know, if you're hundreds of powers higher, I guess, then you will be fine. But we're gonna try to use more of a non-meta team here. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if it's helpful, subscribe and like, of course. And yeah, let's just get into the video. All right, so we are here on Simulation Room Overclock mode. Obviously, we have our BIOS settings, which it looks to be the exact same as all the time. Oh no, it's different. Oh, okay, we have new stuff. Okay, so let's see what we got this time. This is a completely new one. Okay. So what I would recommend to do, right? Or maybe I'll pause and then I will read them and then I'll set them up for you guys. So yeah, let me do that instead. All right, y'all, so I set it up. These rules are looking, I feel like it's a bit easy. I'm not sure, but we're gonna go through it, right? So obviously, just make sure you guys copy my BIOSes. Obviously, we have the +2 attack. I think this one you should be fine if you have the right type of sustain on your team. And then for the defense and max HP, I always have it at the +3 core ratio, just because, like I said, we have a lot of Nikkes in this game, especially non-pilgrim Nikkes that kind of just shred through a lot of these characters' HP and defense, so I feel like going for that is kind of free. Obviously, this one is going to be a bit difficult for a lot of people with this one, but it's the remove the recycling room stats. By removing recycling room stats, you basically do not have any of your stats from your recycling room, which is maybe a couple thousand attack and a lot of HP as well. So just be aware of that one. I think an alternative for that one would have to be one of these, right? Where this one is like 1 unit of jellyfish code, when like you could pick any of these, right? I mean, realistically, I think I will take that. Actually, let's take that. I don't think that one is bad, right? This one right here, 1 unit of jellyfish which code when appears. They will first appear 20 seconds after the battle begins and then reappear every 20 seconds. I feel like a jellyfish is not going to be hard whatsoever. Right, so yeah, we're gonna keep this off. We're going to go ahead and have the destroy duration of destroy is reduced by 30%. I always find that to be free. Now this one here, right, the +4 of the sniper, you cannot bring a burst 1 character that is a sniper on the squad, right? But then the other +4 is basically they want you to bring 2 sniper Nikkes, right? So they would have to be either a burst 2 or burst 3, which is quite interesting in my opinion, right? Obviously, we're gonna bring this one here where like I said, the core or decreases the core damage dealt by Nikke's basic attacks by 50%. So if you do core damage, it's just going to be cut by 50%. And then this is free, right? The wind one, code fix, basically all raptors are going to be seen as wind characters, so that's kind of helpful because then you kind of have like a type advantage if you bring the characters who are type advantage, which in their case I believe is fire. I'm not sure, I forgot. I think it's fire, right? And then obviously the jellyfish one, as I said, right? So those are what I would recommend you guys use. I'm gonna build a team and we're gonna see what it's looking like. Yikes. So because they consider Red Hood a burst 1, I can't bring her. That's fine. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to bring a meta team, but it's not my fault. This one just works out perfectly, right? Basically, I have Crown, Little Mermaid, and then I have Helm, who's a sniper rifle, and then also Ein. Another good pick for Ein here would be Alice, which I know every single player has, because Alice is a sniper herself, and she's fire. So if you go with the rules, she is also type advantage, right? So by having Helm and having Alice, you can bring Rappy as well, or you can bring any of these fire characters. Realistically, probably, you know, Mihara or even Modernia could be good enough. I would say maybe Asuka, since she'll be type advantage, and with the heals of Helm, she'll be pretty good here as well. But you can bring any of those characters to replace who? to replace Rappy, and you should be good, right? But if you don't have Ein, the next best thing would be, I would say, Alice for you. And if you don't have Alice, which is literally impossible, the next best thing for you would probably just have to be Maxwell, right, to support your main DPS. But Alice or Ein should be your go-to pick there, right? But this is the team I'm running here. I think if you don't have Crown, who could you use? You could easily use Mari as well, right? That's also another good pick. If you don't have Little Mermaid, you can use who else do you have here? You could use Litter, you can use Dorothy, right? You could use probably one of those two, I would say, maybe Volume, right? If you really wanted to, you could kind of fix Bay and Ludmilla, that combo, right? Bay, Ludmilla, and then another burst 2 with your 2 sniper burst 3 characters. That also should work because it's going to be hard for your team to die there. I think, you know what, let me try that in this video. In this video, we're going to go with a non-meta team, right? So I'm going to bring Ludmilla and I'm also going to bring Bay, right? But the first team I showed you guys, use that team, right? I'm going to do something like this where I have to bring I'm just gonna have Ein and Helm be my main burst thing, right? And then for my second burst 2, I could just have Crown there, right? I could realistically just have Crown there, or I could put Blanc there, right, for more healing. But I don't feel like I need Blanc for more healing, especially if I'm bringing Helm and we're using our burst 3. So we'll use Crown there, right? But I would say this is more of a non-meta team. Let's see if we can clear this. All right, y'all, so you guys can see they're all geared up. This is our full team right here. We are 600k power with this team. One thing that I will recommend before getting into it, I would highly recommend that you always pick commander ability tests when you have the option to choose between normal stages, hard stages, and commander ability tests, right? The only reason why I recommend that is because the very last stage where you're fighting a regular boss is the easiest stage out of all these stages, right? That boss will get shredded. It's actually comical to me how the last phase is the easiest one. So if you have commander ability tests and you can get through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stages of just commander ability tests and make your way to the boss, you're most likely going to win. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, regardless of your power. But we're going with this team right here, right? Off my logic of like, this is a non-meta team. If I'm able to clear this with this non-meta team, y'all, it has meta characters on it, but I wouldn't say it's a meta team. I feel like this is in a situation like this where I'm trying to prove is that Bay would be very good here, right? Because obviously Bay is quite tanky, right? And to have Ludmilla's defensive buffs, right, with how Bay works, you're not really gonna die, and we have Helm's healing, right? So obviously Ein is going to be our main DPS, and Helm is also going to be a pretty decent DPS as well, right? And then we have Bay and Ludmilla's tanking capabilities to help us, not to mention Crown also gives a shield when Bay is not using her burst skill, right? So you guys can see they kind of do damage. We have no cooldown reduction, which is okay for this team specifically, since again we're not dying with this team. But you guys can see that's the jellyfish right there. It died instantly, and we're going to be able to clear, right? So realistically, this is where I feel like a character like Bay specifically, this is where something where sustain like really would matter, right? I feel like tanky characters could work here perfectly fine. And again, it's for the simple fact that literally they are character, like, you're going to survive with Bay and Ludmilla. I'm sorry, you are, especially if you have favorite item Bay. Bay and Ludmilla is quite the crazy combo because Ludmilla taunts and she has crazy damage reduction. Not to mention, Bay makes it that all allies share like the damage, or she takes all allies damage or whatever, right? So it's going to be very hard for your team to die once Ludmilla's burst skill goes off, or once you enter a full burst. Realistically, you don't have to use Ludmilla's burst skill, but once you get a full burst off and once you have Bay's burst skill off, it's going to be very hard for you to die. Like, even though we have this cooldown issue, which again, I would recommend running the first team I showed you guys with, you know, the Little Mermaid, Crown, and Helm. But if you don't have that and you have something like this, it can work as well. My Ludmilla is not built. Her second skill is level 5 and she has like no gear on, right? And the reason she has gear on, but it's not anything crazy. But yeah, commanding ability test, always pick this, right? Change all active buffs to 0, sure, take that. Commander ability test again, click none, right? Click none. Commander ability test again, click none, and boom. For the 6th stage, you get to literally either choose get HP or buff your existing buffs, right? You can't do anything here. Click none, go to the next one, and you're at the boss. Commander ability test will literally take you straight to the boss, and then when you're at the boss, we are 300k power down here, right? But it's completely fine because it's a solo boss stage. This boss is gonna get deleted by Ein and Helm badly, trust me, right? It's looking a bit different. I don't know what boss this is, to be honest, but this boss is going to get deleted. That's how nasty this is, right? Take a look once we get our burst skill off. Boom. Okay, we've tanked. We have our tanking capabilities, and this boss's HP is going down the shitter, right? It's not going down as fast as like if I was to have like a meta DPS, but it is going to go down quite quickly, right? And as you guys see, we are able to do good damage to these enemies. You guys see there, they're taking damage, but because of Bay and Lamilla's combination, it's going to be very hard for them to die. We have Crown Shield up now, so it's going to be very hard for them to die. We're not actually aiming at the boss, but you do have enough time. I would say go for that jellyfish 100%. They can just drain HP and stuff like that from you, right? Try to get rid of these guys if you need to. I guess for us, it's just a bit more, I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's obviously a bit more like, you know, a bit more iffy just because it's like we don't have that meta DPS, right? Go ahead and destroy that right there. Okay, I don't know what boss that's going for, right? But if Bay is able to survive here, it's even if she's not able to survive, we still have Crown, right? But if Bay is able to survive here, can we go for the boss? Like, why are we not attacking the boss? Right, boom, there, and then Helm is going to let Bay heal up, basically. There we go, boss is going to get the lead. It might take a bit longer for a lot of you guys, I'm not sure, right? But if we just go for the boss, like, it shouldn't be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I mean. Bay and Ludmilla plus Helm's healing, it's really hard. And when you're not using Bay's burst skill, you have Crown, right? We almost did die there, and it did get a bit worrisome there because obviously there was just too much enemies. But as you guys see, we were still able to tank completely. We skipped through 3 stages worth of buffs, literally, so you guys can kind of see what's going on there, right? But now we got the full clear for the new overclock simulation room, whatever, and simulation, and you're good to go. So literally that was a non-meta team right there, and we were able to get all 25 clears, which gives you all the rewards. So if you have that exact same team, I can go ahead and show you guys right now exactly what my build was looking like with those characters. Literally, this is my Bay, right? Right here, this is my Bay. She has leveled up gear. She is 655. I know you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, Zx, your favorite character, not 10, whatever, right? And then I have damage reduction cube on her. Lamilla also has the damage reduction cube. She's 451, right? This is the only skill you need for Lamilla. The damage taken and the taunt all enemies for 15 seconds. That's all you need. Nothing else really matters here, realistically, right? The first skill is helpful, but realistically, you just need that second skill. And then her gear is level 0, like Tetra gear. And then obviously my Crown, my Ein, these characters are all built, obviously. They're meta characters, so they're always going to be built. But yeah, another option I would say is if you do not have Helm and her favorite item, you could technically use Naga if you're trying to use like the Naga and Crown comp, but then you would 100% have to replace Bay, right? Because you do need to have 2 sniper characters. So it's a bit iffy there, but it's not too bad. So hopefully this video was helpful for a lot of you guys watching it. Literally just copy that same team if you want. And again, you could keep redoing simulation overclock option until you get full commander ability test, and then try to nuke the boss like that, and stuff like that. Realistically, you could even change the team, and you don't have to do this. If you have the meta characters, use the meta characters, right? Just try to fit 2 sniper rifle characters on there. I would easily just say Helm and Ein should be your 2 sniper characters, the Crown and Little Mermaid, and then have another burst 3. Like, it could be your hardest hitting burst 3 can literally fit on the team right there. Rappy is going to be great for this, literally. So whatever you want to use, go ahead and use it. But it's going to be your boy Zxous. Hopefully it's helpful. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I'm out later. Peace.